The next ones are interesting because let's talk about Diogo Jota first. The floor's yours. I'm not even going to ask you the question. Diogo Jota, keep, sell, loan. What are we thinking?
Well, I think this might be where we sort of... I would be keeping him, I think, for one more year. Now, I understand that he's not a starter. He's not. He's too unfit to be a starter. Jota's best when
he's too unfit to be a backup. That might be the problem.
But that's fine. Like, there is equal reason to get rid, and there's probably more to get rid of him, to be honest, than keeping him. But his best thing is when he comes on and he's an impact player. We saw it at West Ham. We saw it at Fulham. Selling Nunez and Jota, you're going to need to bring in... Obviously, we're looking at number 9s anyway. Ekitike is being linked and loads, but we're probably going to have to bring in someone else. Unless Diaz is going to be number 9, then you need another left winger. I think keeping one of the two Jota makes more sense. Find someone who can become a permanent fixture up front, and Jota can be a backup option if you need him to come off the bench, if you need someone who can make an impact in matches. I just don't see the point in selling both of them, where we're then going to have to go out and spend copious amounts to bring in multiple replacements.
That's the thing, Chris, on this. I think in any other season, I think you go, you know what, this is the time. But when you're already... Can you go out in the same market and buy 2 centre forwards? I mean, yes, is the easy answer. Can you find them? Can you attract both of them? What's that going to cost you? Maybe, again, Lewis is edging towards keep. Does that tilt you towards keep? Or have you had enough? Because you're a bit like me, injured players just do our edging.
Yeah, they really do. And I'd be looking at Jadon Danns and wondering what his impact is going to be this season. Can he step up and take that role? He didn't really get anything this season at all, did he? So,
injuries again.
Bit of a problem for us there. Although I do hate the injured players thing, I would also keep Diogo Jota because I just think... I think if we sign a centre forward, Florian Wirtz is going to have an unbelievable season. And I would hate for us to sign £100 million centre forward and make the mistake of not giving him a backup in case of an injury or something. I just think it's a little bit risky more than anything. And Jota, although an injured safe pair of hands, is still a safe pair of hands.
I think...
What would you have done? What would you have done? Because we've agreed. So.
I would have sold him if it wasn't selling Nunez, but because we've sold Nunez, I'm keeping him. He's on the contract till 2027, so it might be give us 1 year. And then you do a striker this summer, and then you do a striker next summer, and you have the ball rolling that way. I think it's impossible when the whole world's looking for centre forwards to sign 2 of them. You know, there's only so many to go around anyway. And Arsenal want one, Chelsea are signing on, Chelsea want another one perhaps, and Man United definitely want one. Who isn't after a centre forward? Yeah. The whole of Europe's after them. You're not going to get 2 of them.
You can't sign 2 class centre forwards and then say, right, you 2 are going to be fighting for the same spot. It doesn't work. You've
got to do a bit of both. So and listen, nobody in the world, I don't think I've ever spoke to, loves Diogo Jota as much as I do in terms of Liverpool supporters. I've always banged the drum for him. I had him in the team ahead of Roberto Firmino for 2 years, and everyone was calling me crazy. They might have been right. But I think he's unbelievable. I think he's sensational, but he's injured too much and it's doing me head in.
Yeah.
But keeping him as the lesser of 2 evils. The other evil's keeping Darwin for another year. I can't. I
can't sit through that again.
I just can't. And you're going to get more money for Nunez. So we're going to keep Diogo Jota. So I'm going to put Diogo Jota alongside Federico Chiesa in the keep pile. Just to run through it one more time before we get on to the last 2 players. Kwanzaa, Endo, Chiesa and Jota are staying. Getting sold are Gomez, Tsimikas, Morton, Elliott and Nunez. And then we have loaned out Bajcetic and Ben Doak. The next 2 players on my list, we are going to speak about 2 forwards in this keep sell loan section at the same time. And this is more to do with reports that have come out rather. So this is why they're both in this mix. I'm going to speak about Cody Gakpo and I'm going to speak about Luis Diaz. We can kind of do this as a joint thing between, because I don't think anyone's going to sell both of them. Cody Gakpo linked and apparently admired by Bayern Munich, and they've been more than happy to take him, and some legitimate reporting saying that they like him. Luis Diaz linked a little bit with Barcelona. Loads of Saudi Arabia stuff's come out again, which feels like it's got legs to it. Lewis, I'll start with you. The logical thing, by the way, would be just keep both of them, and move on. And that is definitely an option. They are both under contract for a couple of years at least. You know, I know Diaz is edging towards the end of this, but you can sort out that down the line. Between them, by the way, they've scored a shit ton of goals and got a shit ton of assists on that left hand side. Where are we with Gakpo and Diaz in your mind? I'll start with Cody Gakpo first.
Look, if it's what I want to do,
that's literally the game.
I'd be keeping them both. What I want and what Liverpool will do are two very different things. I've shown that I do not match what they want. But like, Cody Gakpo is someone who I think fits Slot's mould a bit more. Diaz is an exceptionally talented player. He's very quick. He's very good on the ball. But he does seem to, especially in like midway through the season, he runs into trouble a lot. It's like there's no end product to him. Not to the same level, but like Jeremy Doku is the same type of player where he's very good on the ball. But then what can come of it? He did have the early spell. He has the end of the season where he's done very well. Gakpo, for me, just feels like a more calm player. When he's got the ball, he's happy to go back with it and play the way the Slot wants. Whereas Diaz, I feel like he thrives more on space in between. He's getting changed from left winger to number 9 because Gakpo's been so good on the left wing and we've had no one in the middle. I don't know. I'm not looking at this and thinking that Liverpool are going to keep Diaz if it was like someone was pulling my leg. I think he'd be the one of the two to more likely to go. I'd be absolutely keeping Gakpo though, regardless, no matter what the situation is. I love Gakpo. I think he's absolutely top quality.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm exactly the same, mate. I'd be keeping both of them. It's not even a question in my mind. There is a figure for Diaz that I would sell at. If you're approaching 90 million quid, I'm having a big old think about it. But I don't think anyone's going to be going that high for Diaz. If it was like 60, I'd be like, nah, you're all right. I'll just keep him, mate. It's fine. Let's just have a big old game of let Luis Diaz and Cody Gakpo compete for that left wing position again. I think Diaz's versatility is too great for us to lose. Actually, if there was one squad construction wise, I would probably lose Gakpo before Diaz because of his versatility. But I also agree with Lewis that I think he fits Slot's mould a little bit more on that left-hand side. But no question in my mind, I'm keeping both players right now. And I really thought pretty much all of this season up until the last 3 months that Diaz would go. I'm not sure what Liverpool will decide, but I'll be keeping them both.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. I tend to agree with you as well. So we are going to keep both Cody Gakpo and we are going to keep Luis Diaz.